All right. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Let me switch things around. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Oh, I'm so stressed, man. Just give me a couple seconds, guys. Now I gotta send Forte the correct link. All right, so let me go ahead and redo this. Okay, I apologize for everything going on. I know it's been chaotic. I will figure out why my stream. What's funny is I'll stream just fine, Hargeet, and then
Yeah.
for some reason, the moment I do the Addict show, it's like, okay, now we're gonna mess up. We're gonna be fine every other time, but we're gonna mess up now because we're doing the Addict show.
Yep.
So I apologize for that. Hopefully you guys find your way over here. So anyway, welcome to the Addict Show, past, present, and future of gaming. You guys know what it is. I got Dirt Griggity over here. What have you been playing, sir?
Well, I've been playing a couple of things actually. How do I sound? Because they said I sounded low on in the other spot. I guess I'm probably fine on StreamYard. Yeah, I've been playing. Actually, the Connect. I bought a Connect off of eBay, and we've been playing it. On my old 360. The family's been enjoying it. But besides that, I've been playing the Dark Anthology. Was the Dark Picture? Is it Dark Picture Anthology?
Yes.
Yeah, those super massive games. I've been loving those games. I just finished Man of Medan. I finished Little Hope. Now I'm playing House of Ashes. Those games are incredible, and the graphics in those games don't really get the props they deserve. I guess maybe because it's like maybe a point and click type of games, but those games are beautiful, man.
I actually think that what's the game they made on the PlayStation 4?
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn is one of the best.
Absolutely.
Type of those point and click adventure games that's ever been made. Like
it was fire.
It is such a good game, and it's enjoyable. All right, so appreciate it for coming through. Like I said, I had something divine prepared for you guys.
Oh man!
But now we sprawling, man. We sprawling. That's fine. For those of you that don't do YouTube and stuff. Like stuff like this happens all the time, so I'm not going to really stress about it too much. We got a $5 super chat from Drawn TJ. What's up, Addict and Hargeet? Appreciate it. And then we got a $5 super chat from the Angry Therapist. Shout out to Dirt.
What's up, bro?
All right, so what we're going to do is I have a little bit of a formula we're going to do on here. Now, Forte's supposed to be here. Somehow, I told Forte a week ago. We were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "You should definitely come on and do the prediction show." And he ends up in Lucas' podcast. It's like he was on his way to mine and tripped into someone else's. I don't know how that happened. I'm just gonna be real with you, Forte. I don't know how that happened. But it is what it is. We're going to keep it going and keep it moving. So the first thing we got a $2 super chat from Drawn TJ. What's up, Dirt?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
First thing we're going to talk about is obviously the Xbox, but that's the event's prediction. We actually have some. I would say this is one of the most important E3s that they've ever had. Well, it's not E3, but you guys get what I'm saying. And I know that is said a lot, and I'm not saying that it should be said a lot. I think what people need to realize is there's been a lot of reasons for other games in the future to be successful. And other companies in the future to be successful. But for this particular moment, this particular time, the reason I feel like this particular event is extremely important to Microsoft is because it is going to probably determine the next 2 to 3 years of hype that generates in the Xbox Series X. And I think you're going to see more of this going on. Let me get these super chats real quick because I know once we start this thing, we ain't stopping. $5 super chat from Flight. I blame Halo's surprise multiplayer launch in November for the technical issues of this podcast. Always love you. Have some fun. Yeah. Yeah, they do be blaming Halo for a lot of things here lately, don't they? Don't they, Jerry Green?
Absolutely. They blaming it for everything, man.
All right, then we got a $5 super chat from Drawn TJ. Everyone hit that like button. I appreciate the support of the podcast, you guys. All right, so first thing I want to talk about is I kind of want to keep it a little bit contained. I want to still talk about the predictions, but I want everyone to have their shot, because you know what annoys me the most, Hargeet, is when you do a prediction show with people and everyone takes all your stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bounce one at a time throughout the panel, and hopefully we don't take. Hopefully everyone's been so original. There's no one taking no one's stuff. I doubt it though. I doubt it. I seriously doubt that. So first thing we're gonna start with Hargeet, because he came in on the last minute guest. I'm sorry, Hargeet. I'm switching between the two events. Please tell these people where you're coming from. I could not believe I forgot to let you give your intro. It's been a crazy day.
Yeah, so Hargeet from Game On Daily, and I guess things I've been playing recently. Just finished Trek to Yomi.
Great game.
And yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't mind it. And let's see, I played Kirby a bit. And what else was I playing? I was playing something else. What was it? Wild at Heart, because it was leaving Game Pass. So that was one of the ones that was fine. I'll try it out, and it was okay. It's fine, little indie game. And then I started San Andreas, GTA San Andreas. I've never played it, and it's also leaving Game Pass. So I just started that. So nice long game there. And in between that, I've been playing a little bit of Yakuza Like a Dragon, trying to get through that story. So those are the games I've been playing.
All right, so what we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to go from one person to another. I'm going to snatch a little bit of that salt from ILP's format, man. There's a couple of things I do want to bring that we do that in that show. That I'm going to do that here, but we're going to start with Hargeet Chani. What is one particular announcement that you hope personally to see at this event?
So, I still think they need to go full tilt in that Game Pass third-party stuff. And so I'm hoping there's a big, AAA game that comes in day and date. And my hope is it's going to be the one they just announced with Warner Brothers Gotham Knights. I think that would be just awesome. Bring that in day and date into Game Pass.
All right, so just to clarify, you feel like they need to really focus on the day and date, and hopefully they'll get a good big game.
Right, especially June is going to be the rollout right around when they're doing their showcase for Spartacus, right? So you want to have a massive announcement that, no, our place is the place you want to be. Forget Spartacus, right? And something like that is going to be, I'm sure they're thinking about that, right? So I'm looking for that. Obviously, there's going to be the Microsoft announcements of their own games. Obviously, that's all there. But I think the thing that they need to do is focus on that third parties, bringing those AAA, day and dates to showcase that, this is the place you want to be. Because we're not only bringing our games, which is a massive library, but also those third-party games that you want to play.
Okay, so what about you, Dirk? Because with you, it could be anything, man. It could be anything. What about you?
You know what? I got to be honest. I am a huge fan of the Wolfenstein games, and we don't know for sure yet, but we're hearing rumors about Wolfenstein 3, and I'm assuming that they have to announce something. I mean, because they are doing Indiana Jones, but at the same time, their last game came out. What is it? 2017 was the last Wolfenstein. Then they had that little expansion. What was it called? Blood something. I don't remember the name of it. I didn't really care for it. Youngblood. Yeah, I didn't really care for it, but that was in 2018. So it's been a few years. They still say they just started working on Indiana Jones maybe last year or so. So what were they doing in those years? So I'm hoping Wolfenstein 3 gets announced, and it gets announced as an Xbox exclusive. That's what I'm hoping for, sir. Love the franchise.
I feel like Wolfenstein would be... I feel like there's enough time that's went by where Wolfenstein would surprise people.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people automatically assume that they've been working on Indiana Jones this whole time. And if they have been working on Indiana Jones this whole time, then all right, where's Indiana Jones?
Exactly. That's a great point. Yeah.
It's been a while since like 2019?
2018 was when that expansion came out. And I don't believe the full team worked on that expansion. So technically 2017 was Wolfenstein 2 came out.
Yeah,
that's 5 years, man.
That's why I do feel that if they weren't working on Wolfenstein, and keep in mind, Indiana Jones was announced like what, a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's been a minute.
I believe they announced it early 2021. I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, we coming up on a year and a half, most likely.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So that's why I personally feel like there's a good chance that something has been working on this entire time. I don't just see a world where they're only working on one game and it's been Indiana Jones. I do feel like even if it's not the game, even if it's not Wolfenstein, did they just sit around and do nothing that whole time?
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Oh, so
Hey.
it's look who came on in.
Look who showed up.
Look who showed up.
What up, though?
What up, though?
I was over there having,
what up, though?
I was over there having an argument with Slow-Mo and everybody. Then I looked at the clock and I was like, "Oh man, it's 5 o'clock."
All right, so let's ask Forte. What is the one announcement that you particularly want in this event? Not the one that you think is going to happen, not the one that no mic drop moments, just an announcement that would gauge your interest.
That would truly gauge my interest. What I would like to see is I would like to see the continuation of Halo single player. I would like to know what direction that's going in. I would like to know when the next DLC drop for that's coming. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon because I do think that multiplayer and Forge and all that stuff take precedent. But if they did come out and say something about Halo stuff, because I was actually truly invested in the single player. I really, really enjoyed it. And I actually played that before I even played any multiplayer for the most part. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they do with that, especially if you played it and beat it and got to the end and see like the end credits and stuff of how the game or how it played out and stuff. I definitely want to see what that is, even though, and I think that's years away until we get to the resolution of what you saw at the end of that the game. But that's what that would make me be like, oh, they're paying attention, because I think there, as much as people love and want multiplayer and co-op campaign and stuff to come into the game, this is going to be a long tail when it comes to the single player, and I would love to see some type of information around that, and then that would kind of just set the stage for the rest of the show for me.
I agree. I think there's a good chance something like that happens. Here's the thing: when it comes to any announcement related to Halo, how serious are they with the Halo brand right now? Like, are they more worried about having? Let me get rid of this phone. Are they more worried about having some type of energy going into like the multiplayer? Because I know right now they're getting destroyed for that. So I'm curious if that has took away some of the resources from like the story element of Halo. I'm curious on that. Do you guys think that, or do you guys think that maybe they're still, going in the way they originally intended to? Because I feel like the way they launched was good in terms of gameplay, but a lot of people feel like it's lacking in terms of content. Do you feel like that maybe they're like, okay, let's pull these people that was originally going to make us some story content, and let's make everyone work on this multiplayer that's going to theoretically keep the game alive?
Well, I don't know if that's such a great idea. I think I like the single player content, especially in that June showcase. I don't know if they, like multiplayer, you just need to keep doing all the time, right? That needs to be constant engagement. They should have like monthly cadence of here's what's coming, here's what's coming, here's what's coming, because otherwise you're just going to lose your player base. But this is a good time to showcase that. I like Forte. I like that. Let's bring in that campaign. What's next? You showed that cliffhanger. What's next?
What's next?
What do we get? Right? Is that 10 years from now, or is that coming next year? Is that coming this year? Like I want to see that. I think that June showcase, that's for that single player content that you want to see. What am I going to be playing? Right? It's great that we already have the multiplayer, but yeah, I think that's at a different venue. Even if it's like the Paris, we're assuming it's gonna be a Paris show, right? It's gonna be a show with Paris Lily, right? So that might be a good place to have a Joe interview. Hey, what's going on with the multiplayer, right? Let's bring that home too. But I'd love to see that single player stuff.
Yep, I agree
with you.
Yeah,
I feel like the only thing that's ever going to truly bring back breath into the Halo brand at this point is a massive expansion to the single player that has a lot of multiplayer on top of that. And I think Forge will help, but man, like 343, you own all the Xbox does, but you own all the rights to the Halo franchise. Why isn't the Pit been dropped in here? Why hasn't Guardian been dropped in here? Like, to me, I'm not a developer, and I'm actually going to bring a developer on here to explain situations like this. But to me, it shouldn't be too hard to have these maps remastered and put into the game. Like, maybe like Forge content creators can do it in a couple hours. And I'm not saying it's that easy, but Forge content creators can make duplicates of Guardian and of Blackout in a couple hours. You mean to tell me that 800 people can't do it? Like, I don't know exactly the semantics and everything going over there, but it's just like, I feel like one of the biggest things that could really gravitate and give them a lot of pull is to have a lot of maps hit the game, classic games.
I agree with that.
All right, so here's mine. Let me get these 2 super chats real quick. We got a $2 super chat for Frogboy X1 Gaming. Will there be any birds at the Xbox show? What does he mean by that?
He talking about like
checkerboard.
Yeah, he talking about checkerboard. He making fun of your PlayStation.
Oh my god,
wow.
checkerboard.
They always extra, man. We got a $2 super
click
from
clack.
Nina, Xbox BR announcement. All right, let's talk about that real quick.
I'll be down.
Do you guys think there will be an Xbox BR announcement at the showcase next month on the 12th?
Nope.
Hey, yo, let me say this. Well, going off of what Jez Corden said, he said it has been in development for 2 years and it possibly could be released this year. If that's the case, absolutely, of course. But we just don't know if that's really the case. So, my honest opinion, I'm going to say yes. Forte, I'm going to say yes.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Want to put your Michigan card on it?
Yes, right.
Oh, okay.
I actually feel like that could get some movement. Honestly.
Oh, it definitely could get movement, but it's also going to come back to the conversation. Is their priorities in the right place? Like, it's not that I don't think it shouldn't come, because I do think it should come, but it's just like the whole thing with Master Chief Collection. Even though that DLC was being worked on, all that stuff was being worked on in conjunction with the Halo Infinite stuff. The fact that released on that platform for PC and on console still was like a black eye for Halo Infinite. And the conversation still was, 343 prioritizes the older game than they do the newer game. So even when it comes to like BR, yeah, it's cool, it's there, but where's the co-op? Where's the extra map for multiplayer? Everybody doesn't like BR, even though BR is the most popular thing. I do think they won't get as much flack for a BR being brung to the game like all those other things. But I do think it will still be a conversation that 343 is prioritizing the wrong things, because a lot of people, started their love of Halo in single player. And I personally know a lot of people that haven't played the game because they don't play it by themselves. They play it with other people. So you're kicking the can further down the road on that too. If they're saying that it's something that's going to launch over the summer, then yeah, that's probably cool too. But I think if they're going to announce BR, they're going to have some type of update on where all the other things are happening with the game too at the same time, basically just to give people updates on it. And then I think they'll be perfectly fine. But if they just say BR's coming, oh yeah, just be ready for the next day. All of the content creators talking about it, and it'd be a crazy mess.
So I don't think it's coming on.
I don't either.
Because like that announcement for Certain Affinity was in April, right? When they said, we're going to work more closely with 343 on Halo. And that was kind of the genesis of us understanding they're working on this. If they said that they were like ready to do it, you'd have a different message. I don't think they're ready. Like it's too much. So if it was coming at the fall time frame, okay, maybe. But do you think like Microsoft has been burned enough of saying, we think it'll be ready, let me go ahead and announce a date? I don't think they're going to do that until they know it's damn well ready to go.
And that's the other thing too. Do you want to release? Do they want to really release a mode? Because right now you're in a mode that anything that releases for Halo has to be perfect, almost has to be pristine because of just the cloud that's over it. It's like, well, then you learn your. Yeah, it's such a microscope, but it's like, you want to make sure that's good. And the fact that this last season came out and you got them already saying like, oh yeah, we learned this, we learned that, and we're going to do better with the next season. But the new season just started, so you're going to fix this season over the course of it to get everything the way it needs to be. Can you imagine them releasing the BR and having that same? And that's inherently that's probably going to happen. Because we all know when you release something especially as substantial as that, there's going to be issues when it first comes out, but you at least want to minimize that by giving people the things that they want, that they've been waiting for, that will give them a reason to, if the BR isn't working right, they can go play something else. Because that's the main reason why I haven't played Halo Infinite. I logged in, I played it, I was like, oh, this is cool, but I really don't want to play this. And then when I went to go play the stuff that I was playing back in January, I realized that it was the same. And I was like, I don't want to do this.
So let me ask you guys a question. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move away from the Halo thing because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah, answer us anything you want to ask me, sir. I like your helmet. I mean, your helmet. I like your
beanie.
Your beanie.
Okay.
Can I get one?
Thank you, Hargeet, for helping him with that. Thank you. All right, so
I want your shirt.
Clearly,
too.
I have told you guys. Yeah, I got the Naruto shirt.
I know we eating those noodles out of that bowl. Let's go.
So clearly, I asked you guys, what do you guys want to see? Something that you as individuals will like to see from here. Now, what I want to ask you is, what do you think Xbox needs here? Like, what is that one announcement that Xbox needs here? And if they don't have here, it's automatically going to be not necessarily a failure, an L or anything like that, just very disappointing. We're going to start with Forte.
Oh, man, you would start with me, man. What they need to have here. Huh. Are we eliminating like the things like Starfield because we need to see
don't I mean, you can say something basic, but don't be basic
because
yourself.
That's literally that's it. Is like, honestly, everything else is kind of up there. It's almost easier to say what do you think they're going to show that would more excite you and get you even more invested in the things that you're not, because I think Starfield, the whole show rides on Starfield no matter what. I feel, because that's the game that everybody knows. But I would love to see Fable. Finally, the game has been talked about for 3-4 years at this point. Now it's been a super secret that was not the best kept secret for 5. So at this point, I think that if they were to show something around that, but I think if I had to say the one thing that would kind of break the show outside of Starfield is not showing Hellblade. You done already showed it once at the VGAs. You show a cinematic gameplay trailer last year at the VGA. Now it's time to just show straight gameplay. So I think that game needs to be shown this year. And I don't think it's a make or break for it, but I do think that game needs to be shown this year because you done already shown it on 2 separate occasions.
But couldn't you make an argument? And I'll get to Dirt. I want you to answer this. Couldn't you make an argument because they've shown it so many times that people might not want to see Hellblade?
That's not gameplay.
Event?
Did I see gameplay?
I get that,
gameplay?
But
you're the one at the Game Awards was gameplay.
No.
What do you mean, like,
listen, that's not
is it the gameplay you want to see? That's
no. I need. So what was? Okay, let me ask you a question. What was the What was the biggest problem that? And I love Hellblade was my game of the year that year. What was the biggest problem everybody had with Hellblade?
It says a walking sim.
Well, it's the fighting in it is not
exactly, Hargeet. The combat.
Yeah.
So once they showed me what the combat looks like,
okay, so
then I'm good because they can show me cinematic trailers and all of this stuff, and or cinematic gameplay with just the aesthetic of the game. We already know because you're invested in the story already because you love what you played in the first one. You love the voices and stuff in her head. We need to know what the combat looks like. So until they show me combat, so maybe that's probably what you're asking. I need to see combat from Hellblade. If I see combat, then we're good. But they need to show that at the show.
Okay, so you feel like the combat for Hellblade is essential to show the improvement from the original one to this one. That this game is going to do better in terms. Okay, Dart, come on, man. What do you need that you think they need to see on that, or you feel like the show is automatically going to be a disappointment?
I'm not going to use the word disappointment, but
Yes, you do use it.
if they don't, in my opinion, show some release years at least. If they show Hellblade 2 and they don't have a release year like 2023, that will kind of be disappointing for me. If they show some gameplay of Contraband, they don't show a release year or Avowed. I just want to see a release year. Like, I would like a date, but I'm not going to go that far yet. But at least give us a release year, because the last couple of E3s, last year I thought was a damn good E3, but we still didn't get a lot of release dates or even release years. So we know they have tons of games in development, a whole bunch of stuff in development, but now we're at the point where we need to get ready to, to see some of these games, like when they're dropping. I love the roadmap. I absolutely love the roadmap, but I would like to see, cool. Hellblade 2 is 2023. Avowed is 2023. Contraband is 2023. I would love to see that, like at least for the games that's supposed to drop next year, at least.
Okay, so just to clarify, you feel that Microsoft has been very relaxed on the release dates, and they need to be a little bit more, maybe not necessarily street dates like this coming out this day, but we need at least. Now, do you think we should ask for like a time of the year, like winter, summer, or do you think a year in general is fine?
A time of the year would be great, but I'm not even asking for that right now. Just let us know the ballpark of when these games are going to release. Just something, because we haven't had, like, with the exception of Starfield, we haven't got that with any game for the most part, because we're assuming Forza Motorsport is going to be there. We're just assuming that. We're assuming some of these other games are going to be there, but we haven't got any type of release dates for anything besides Starfield.
Okay, so let me actually add a little salt onto your not salt, some sauce onto your response. All right, so now you said you want release dates for games. Tell me 3 that you think's essential, that we absolutely need solid release dates or release year. 3 games. I want it from Hargeet and Forte. Okay.
Not from Dirt?
No.
I want it from all of you. That's what I was saying.
Okay. Well, I mentioned them already. Since we already have Starfield release date, Locked in Stone, Hellblade 2, Avowed, and for me, Contraband. Because we don't know anything about the game. I'm assuming we're going to see some actual gameplay this year. We've heard they've been developing this game since 2018. So those are the 3 games that, excuse me, I'm expecting some type of release dates.
And I actually feel like you're being really realistic with those games. What about you, Hargeet? What are the games that you expect to see some release dates at this event?
Well, all right. So release dates. I mean, so I like the idea of Avowed. I think that one should be. It's been announced for long enough. They did announce so many games in that, like July
Absolutely.
Was it showcase, and that was like a couple of years ago now. It's like, come on, like one of these things coming if you're going to announce them. But I guess if I want release dates, what I'm excited for, I want Fable, I want Avowed, and then I want to see what that Indiana Jones game looks like. But that one would be the other one that can excite me. I'm kind of interested in what that one is, so I'd love to see a release date for that. As far as like, I don't know if you want to ask my one thing that like they need to have. Because I like the dates. That is a fantastic one.
Let's push that back a little bit, because I want to get Forte's 3 games, and then we'll move on to what they need to show.
Yeah,
3 games so actual dates.
No, just release dates. Windows, like a year.
Windows
I
too?
would like summer, spring. That's me. That's me being greedy. That's me saying, Microsoft, I don't care what these people want. I want Windows.
Okay, so I'll give you. So let's just talk about. Well, we already know we're getting Starfield this year. I think we're going to get a release date for Forza. We're actually going to get that this year. I think we're going to get a window, because I don't think Redfall's coming out this year. I think that's coming out next year now.
Oh, really?
So I think we're going to get a release window for that for the beginning of next year. I think we're going to get a actual date for Hellblade. I think we're going to get a date for it next year. I think we're going to get a date for that next year. And I also think we're going to get a window for Avowed being end of holiday 2023.
I think you're going to get Avowed release date and Hellblade release date.
Yep.
And a Forza release date. I think I'd
Forza
be very
release date is
surprised if you
definitely
don't
happening.
get those. I would be very surprised. So, Hargeet, all right. So what is that one thing that you personally feel like has to be at the Microsoft show?
So besides the dates, which I agree with, I was going to say that, but my other one would be.
See, if I would have let Dirk keep talking, he would probably take your next one too. So,
but the other one that I want to see is like the end of the show needs to be something brand new. Like just give me something that you've never heard about.
Drop moment.
Yes, exactly. Just something that's like a teaser. That's gonna be 3 years out. That's fine. But show me something that's just gonna blow my mind. Oh, cool! I gotta have this. But like the Wolverine trailer, right?
Yeah.
Just show me something like that. Mic drop. Boom. Right. That would be fantastic.
Right, so
whether
you
it's
think
at the end, but somewhere near the end, mic drop. There you go. Like
So
something
just
that would be fantastic. This one would just totally kill. Is a superhero game. They bring out any IP. I don't care, whatever. Iron Man or Superman. I don't care. Something crazy. Just bring it out.
Wanted to have the same house as you for a second.
So just to clarify, you feel like a very strong ending show is what they need. Something that is going to remain on people's minds going forward.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, Forte, did you say what it needs to be?
Yes,
I know I
went first.
I feel like I'm going to still a little bit Hargeet says, but I do feel like, and it's not just the ending, they need a strong opening and a strong closing. And I feel like, because those things, if you mess up any one of those things, the middle is going to be forgotten.
Right. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I feel like there is a good chance that we'll see, we're not going to go into that because I want to get into your general predictions here in a second, but that's my thing. You need a strong opening and a strong closing. Most likely, I would say open with Starfield, close with a new IP.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly.
That's how I would say it. I don't think they should close with Starfield. Starfield's already been
agree.
shown. They need to open with Starfield.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Start off with Starfield, end with a brand new IP. I love that idea right there.
Yeah.
So last year, did they end with like gameplay of Forza? Was that what the last thing was?
No, it was Redfall.
It was Redfall.
Redfall. That's right.
It was Forza, then Redfall.
And to be honest with you, that was a horrible mic drop moment. I'm sorry. I
thought they should have just ended it with Forza because they had people blown away with Forza.
I thought they should have ended it. Well, I mean, okay, you can't
like
technically end it with Starfield. I don't think you can end it with Starfield because there wasn't gameplay to show. If there was more substance, you could have ended it with Starfield. But they can't. I'm with Hargeet that they definitely should end it with a new IP.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's going to gauge the most interest. Now, the only exception is that they end it with a classic game that people want, like a Fallout New Vegas 2 or something like that. That's going to generate hype. Huh?
They're going to end it with Elder Scrolls.
Dude, that was so killer. If they could actually show, hey,
they are literally going to end it. I'm telling you,
so cool.
It's super in pre-production. They showed us a trailer of something that could have been anything. They just put Elder Scrolls over the top of it. I think they're literally going to end that show with something
that would kill.
in Elder Scrolls.
That'd be pretty good.
I think if they even if it's a 10-second clip, they're going to end it with a 10-second clip.
It's got to be 2-3 minutes, but
maybe a dragon coming down out of the sky or something.
Well, see, the thing is dragons are in Skyrim because that's the lore behind that region that they're in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. The next one we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna go first because of that nonsense you just said. Is what's one thing you don't want to see at this damn event? I don't want to.
Oh, that's easy.
Elder Scrolls at all. I don't want to even smell Elder Scrolls. Because it's too far out. No, hold up. We can fight. That's fine. But I'm strong, man. You want that?
Yeah, look, you gonna go eat you a bowl of noodles or something.
Look,
oh man,
they have Starfield in here. They have Avowed most likely. I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 would it will take away from everything. It won't take away, but let's say
that's what the end of the show's supposed to be though.
But we've already seen Elder Scrolls 6.
No, we haven't.
Years ago, we seen something.
We saw that could have been that could have been anything.
Mountains.
So just to clarify, you would like to see a CGI of
No.
Elder Scrolls
No,
6,
not a CGI.
a
Not a
gameplay.
CGI. It don't even have to be. It just has to be. It could be it could be a render. It could, like I said, it could be a 5-second render of
To show it.
something in the game. And then at the end of the shows, it says Elder Scrolls on it. But as long as we get a chance to see something other than what we saw before, because guess what? The internet would blow up.
Yeah, it
All right,
would.
well, we're gonna ask.
Knowing
the
it would
internet
be
will blow
Xbox exclusive.
Tell me if I'm
And
is
then put
Addict
Xbox exclusive
bugging?
on it. Yeah.
Tell me
right.
if Addict's bugging that they should take
Yeah, you
time out of
bugging,
their
bro.
busy schedule
You
to
bugging,
show
bro.
a game that they've showed years ago, and they're not gonna have any type of gameplay whatsoever. They're not gonna have any type of story related stuff. I don't think it's going to
They
do
showed-
anything.
They showed
Here's
the
the thing,
game
when
on
you
peer
got
pressure
Starfield,
before.
You got avowed gameplay most likely. Like I don't think they need to.
They need to dive into
I'm
their
allergic to
Western
your shit,
RPG.
Forte.
No, screw that, man. Don't listen. They are kings of the Western RPG. They need to dive deep into that.
Let
But I
people
feel
know.
like they're doing
Let
it,
people
though.
know.
But here's the thing: you act like they're not already doing that. Well, I get what you're saying. The only thing I would agree with you is if
To
they
show
come
it.
bold and they say at the end of it, Xbox console exclusive.
Exactly. That's
Yes.
I can
one of the reasons why
understand that.
you do
People
it.
will go home happy, like, oh my god. People
But
go
I
crazy.
just personally feel like.
They'll
I
make up for
wouldn't
that
want
dang
that.
indie sizzle reel they're going to give us in the middle
But
of the
to me,
show.
you're already celebrating their next game without letting their game they're coming
Yeah,
out
but
with
they let
now
them know, yo,
release.
after Evolve, we got some other bangers on the way. Hey, including Elder Scrolls 6. Boom.
Now, what happens if they end the show with like a Gear 6 trailer?
I'll be happy with Gears
I'll be
6.
happy with that too.
Yeah,
I
because
almost
I'm
think
starting to
You've
miss
already
Gears a little
lost
bit.
your privileges, Forte.
I also think if they don't, okay, so even if we go with them not ending the show with that, what if when Ty Howard's after talking about Starfield and he says, and I got one more thing to show y'all, and then he just shows you that at the end of the Starfield presentation. It fits
Okay,
nicely
that would
right
be
next
fine.
to it.
I just don't want them ending with it. That's
Oh,
all.
I mean,
don't
I'll
want
give
them
you that
ending
because
with
I
it.
think what you end the show with should be something substantial enough to like
Sell
more than yeah. I mean,
Sell
you're gonna sell
consoles.
consoles with Elder Scrolls.
You
No
are.
matter what.
So
Yeah.
let's roll back a little bit, all right? Because we kind of went a little bit extra.
Look at you being incognito today. Let's
Okay,
go.
so Dirt, what
Yes,
is
sir.
something that you do not want to see at this event? Like, if you see at this event, you just like, you know that one thing, like VR is it to me. I see VR, I'm disgusted.
Yes.
What is that one thing to you that if you see, you're gonna be like looking at your phone, like sitting there? Is it over yet? Is it over yet?
Mr. Addict, sir? This is a very easy question.
Is it Minecraft?
Sea of Thieves and damn Grounded. Every show they show. I understand Sea of Thieves is successful. I understand Grounded is successful. Stop. Every show they show both of those games. I understand they have content coming. Just drop a YouTube video of it.
No,
Sea
okay,
of
hold on.
Thieves and
Okay,
Grounded.
let's break down your statement a little bit. Now, let's say, remember the video game awards? They had a pre-show. Now, if they showed all that during the pre-show,
That's fine.
would you be okay with that?
That's
okay,
fine.
okay. We getting somewhere, Dirt.
He
We're
said,
getting
'cause I ain't
somewhere.
gotta watch
Xbox,
the
we
pre-show.
watching, do
I'll
a
be fine
pre-show.
in the pre-show. Yeah, show up Grounded, new content, show up Sea of Thieves, new DLC, whatever. But I'm tired of seeing both of those games for the last 2 or 3 shows. Big
I
You
know
shows.
basically
it's sometimes you don't want to keep seeing the same.
You
game.
basically
yeah.
just gave them the right to show you Minecraft. Then
Oh, shit.
you said, "Oh, he don't want to see those, but he'll take Minecraft."
I hope not.
All right, so let me get these super chats real quick before we get a Hargeet. We got a $5 super chat from DS Skilltown. I
What's up,
predict
bro?
Dirt will play the Halo theme on that piano.
Absolutely,
You know what's
man.
funny, Dirt? I thought that was your legit house. Like,
Did you? I wish my house looked like that.
He
Well,
got
I
me
don't
one
know
time.
where these people live. Like, I don't know where everyone
He
lives.
got me one time. I had to look, and I said, "Wait a minute, we live in the same state, and it's bright outside." So
Yeah,
it's
right, yeah.
Then we got a $5 super chat from the Angry Therapist MD Jet Set Radio. That'd be an interesting
that would
announcement. Interesting announcement.
Yeah, that would, but that wouldn't really do anything. People are like, yeah, cool. Okay, let's move on.
I don't think it would be meant to do anything. I think it would just gauge, oh my God, like kind of like just like wow factor. You know
Shout
what I'm
out to
saying?
that man's Avatar, because a Transformer game announced by them would be amazing.
Oh, is that Megatron? Megatron.
That's Megatron.
Love it.
So we got a $5 super chat from King Arthur. What up, though? The bad boys deep on the Addict show and Hargeet, the God 2. Let's get it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Then we got a $5 super chat from the Rubber Knob. I reckon they will end it with Compulsion's new game. Nice. I did not expect that.
I'm expecting that to be there, too.
Yeah. I am
I
expecting
think
to be there.
It'll be there, too. Yeah. Then we got a $2 super chat from Mr. Irishman. Vegas 2 will end it. Mark my words. You guys want to see me, fanboy? Let that happen.
So which one would you say by more for that, or
you know how you be seeing these reaction channels with these unrealistic reactions? They'll be like getting up, oh my God!
Man, he'd break his chair if that happened.
That's totally me. That totally
chair is unbreakable. Forte, did you see it?
So like that's totally me. If something like that happened, I would be that dude. I would be that dude. Then we got a $5 super from Apollo Cooper. In the middle, they should talk about the Project Moria. That one more thing should be either Doom 3, Elder Scrolls 6, or New Vegas 2. You guys
did he mention Project Moria? I forgot about that, bro.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, man.
I did too. I definitely.
And then we got a $2 super chat from Omni Z X or Z. Yeah, Z. No X. Mandalorian picking up the baby Yoda, just a shadow. Then we got a $5 super chat from Restored by Life. Will Xbox ever design a next gen controller?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
You will get a. You know what? That's a good question. When do you guys think we're going to get the see the redesign for the next Elite controller?
It could be at the show.
Because that's what I was thinking. Like, could we get the Series 3?
That's a good. Hey, that's a good prediction.
Because you know they always have a controller at it.
All right, so let's roll it back. Let's not talk about general predictions. Let's roll it back.
That's not a general prediction.
Hargeet, what is something that you don't want at this show at all?
I'm with you on the VR. Like that stuff is just ridiculous.
But
if the thing I don't like seeing, and the thing that actually slowed it down a little last time, was DLCs coming out, or like, I don't know, expansion for this. Is like, okay, that's nice, but I want to see new games. Show me the games.
Right.
Like, show me some trailers and gameplay. Like, this thing has DLC. That's nice. Like,
I agree.
I think that's better for that, like, Paris show. Hey, we expanded this game, like that Top Gun thing. That's cool. Show me in that show. I want just awesomeness here. So just show me the games. So it's not like it's terrible, but it's the part where I start to like lose interest.
So do you guys think that because they have a lot more announcements, and I assume a lot of these games are close to being done, that they're going to refrain from showing games that's already out there? Do you guys think that's a thing?
I feel those games that are successful for them, they're going to probably announce some type of DLC. That's why, even though I said on like Sea of Thieves, I do not want to see that, they still might show the next big Sea of Thieves DLC.
I agree. I feel like because these games are close to being done, we're probably going to start seeing them not be, because look, when you show CGI, most of the time that CGI going to be not too much of the show. It's going to be a minute, maybe a minute and a half. But when you start having gameplay to show, that's going to take more time.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you do to pad and that show that's showing a bunch of CGIs? We got this Wasteland DLC. We got this Sea of Thieves. I feel like that's why you've seen a lot more of that.
Oh, man.
I've actually felt like Inside Xbox needs to be the outlet for these games. You have an Inside Xbox. See, they need to bring it back, but they need to let other people run it. Like, because here, look, I love Major Nelson, Jeff Rubens. I love them all to death, but I feel like marketing people and PR people running a show dedicated to the audience, that's not going to work out, because at the end of the day, they're designed there to keep our expectations of their company in check. So I don't feel like you're ever going to truly, get that type of audience happy, because like some things we think's cringe, and I think the cringe stuff's okay. But if you have the content to show, that cringe is okay. People are going to overlook the cringe.
Hmm.
No one talks when they did the Flute Man on PlayStation. No one really goes on about it because there was some fire God of War and Ghost of Tsushima stuff that week.
Hmm.
So there wasn't a lot of talk on the cringe. But when you go to these shows and you don't show your stuff in a good light, and then sometimes you have devs come on that don't really seem like they know what they're talking about. Like they'll talk about Game Pass and they don't even know their game's in Game Pass. Remember that happened a couple years ago? They were talking about Game Pass and the dev didn't even know their game was in Game Pass.
Oh wow, no, I don't remember that.
It was something like that. Maybe it wasn't that exact scenario, but it was something that when you were listening, you're like, man, like really? So that's why I do think we need something like Inside Xbox, but I think it needs to be done differently. Like you can make it community focused, but at the end of the day, the whole point of that show is to show us content. And I feel like it's always 25% content, 75% community. And it's like, can we have a 50-50 show, man?
Right.
Like no one likes state of plays, but people still watch them. But it is what it is. Okay, Forte. Tell me that one thing you don't want to see at this event.
I don't want to see a 5-minute or more segment of people talking on stage.
I don't want to see a 2-minute segment.
I'll give our Lord and Savior Todd Howard because he's the only person, because I know he's going to do it.
Not Phil.
Phil.
Let me rephrase that.
Let's be for real. Phil will
You
start
go
the
on
show.
there.
Once the show starts, after Phil does his monologue at the beginning, because he's going to do it, and we love Phil, I don't want to see it again, except for Todd Howard, because I know Todd Howard is going to do it. But there should be no other segment where a person is up on that stage speaking for longer than 180 seconds.
I got something even better for you.
What you got?
I don't want to see no corny, cringy gameplay of a whole team playing the game on stage.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see none of that. I don't want no Division.
Agreed.
I don't want no Borderlands. Go do that
They
YouTube
did that with
video.
Forza, didn't they?
You don't need to put it on there, because when you show stuff like that and then you actually play the game and you're like, yo, I never experienced anything remote close to this. I could say one time they've done that actually I really was messing with. It was that first real big Rainbow Six Siege trailer. Remember how they had like the multiple panning and they're going in the house? I like that. That was a unique one, but they weren't on. I don't remember them being on stage like that. I don't remember that, because it was like, remember they all came out there like side by side playing the Division. I don't want none of that. They keep that home. Keep them people home. It's a pandemic anyway. We don't need them people in the same room. All right. So now we're going to move on to just the basic announcements that you feel is going to be at this event. We're going to start with Hargeet, Chani. What is something that we all know that's going to be there? Well, just your average thing. Now, we could talk about the Xbox too, because the Xbox stuff, we all know that's going to be there, and how you expect it. So what I really want to hear from you guys is, how much of a presence do you think Starfield's going to have? Do you think it's going to have like a huge gameplay presence, or you think it's going to give a story orientation, or you think they're going to try to do both? Avowed, want the same answer from that, if that is there. In Hellblade, if these games are there, what kind of presence do you want from them?
Okay, so the obvious things that are going to be there, I think Forza's there. Right, we got the big hint with the developer, right? The lead, like he told us, I'm not supposed to say what's coming. So, so we can pretty much assume it's coming, right? So I think that's going to be there. Redfall, I hope it has some sort of release date in the next 6 months, right? Something. So I assume that's going to be there. So that should be a pretty easy one. Obviously, they're going to do Starfield. And to your point of what will they show? Well, there's also the other one, right? There's the Keighley show. Summerfest, Games Fest, whatever he calls it, right?
Summerfest.
Yeah, the Summer Game Fest, whatever they call it, whatever he calls it. I have a feeling that that's going to show up there too. So I don't know what is going to show up there. That comes up first. So there's going to be some sort of thing, and I think Starfield would probably end up being there to attract the general audience to Xbox, right? So I'm going to guess that that's going to be the game they show. They did Halo last time. I think they're going to do this one. It's going to be Starfield. And
Okay.
what they show, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the full reveal. They're going to say, hey, tune into the Xbox show to catch gameplay, right? So it's going to be something like that. That'd be my guess, right? So it'll probably be a bit more of a trailer type thing, right? Just cinematics. And then it moves over to gameplay reveal, probably with like a Howard sit down interview going over here. This is why we did this and this. So that might happen. Or they might do a bit of that and then do something at like a Paris show to go like 30 minutes or something like that, whatever, 20 minutes of Starfield, like in depth, or maybe just a whole separate segment. But yeah, I think that's what it would end up being. So I would expect anywhere between like 10-ish minutes to 15 minutes at most in the June showcase, and then a probably 2-minute to 3-minute trailer. That'd be my guess in the Game Fest thing, something along those lines, because I think they're going to want to have that wider audience from Keighley, right? So I think it's going to show up there.
Okay, so how do you feel about this, Forte? Do you feel that because I think this is the biggest question mark in here is Microsoft's got so many tools in they shed, but which ones are sharpened enough to bring to the show?
So I think what will be there, I think Hellblade will be there. I think Hellblade will be there. I do think Compulsion's game will be there.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that game will be there. I also think that you will see Avowed. I think Avowed will actually be there, showed and everything. And a lot of that really is contingent on, like you said, I do think there is going to probably be a lot of blow around the medieval theme because, I mean, not medieval, but just the RPG thing, because that's what Xbox has a lot of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that too, but I really, really, truly think that they're going to, well, I know Forza is going to be there. That's a given because that's coming out this year. But for something that's coming out next year, I truly think you're going to see Fable this year. I think you're going to fan out. I think you're going to lose your mind, and I think we're going to get a update from Addict. Literally 20 minutes after the show, he's going to go live before the Iron Lords even get a chance to go live again, and he's going to have to talk about it.
Let me say this.
I'm telling you right now,
Fable, and they're going to show you gameplay of Fable. You think it's gameplay?
I think it's gameplay. I think they're going to
show me gameplay of Fable. You won't even have to worry about when ILP is going to stop going live. I'll be hosting that. I'm hijacking that podcast if that happens. Cog is no longer the host at that point. Okay, I'm the host of that show. Look, I agree. I don't know if we'll see Fable. I think that might be a little bit too much.
That's the reach, but I do think
I think that's like a Michael Jordan reach. There's different types of reaches. I think that's like a
Space Jam. Space Jam.
No, I don't. Well, it depends on which Space Jam we're talking about here. There are some that are better than others.
Yeah. The Jordan one was much better.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really a reach though, because I think in general they've been talking about that. I mean, we knew about that game 2 or 3 years before they even announced the developer that was working on it.
Yeah.
And they've been hiring like crazy for different design philosophy for people that's working at the studio and stuff. I think they're in a state. I don't think it's in a state for it's like playable from beginning to end yet. But I think they're at least in the states where they can actually show you. And if anybody is ready to show you a vertical slice, and they need to, is Xbox. I know developers don't like breaking out vertical slices that are, made for these type of events. But I do think Microsoft's in a situation with Xbox that they need to start showing a lot of this stuff, because they have all of these studios, but we know what they're making, but we haven't seen it. And I think Fable is one of the big ones.
All right, so let me get some of these super chats while they post in there. Man, they really they are hardcore defending you today, Forte. Every time you say something, Forte can't be wrong. All right, so we got a $5 super chat from Alvin. How great would it be if we get the Street Fighter 6 reveal to let people know it's multiplayer? Also, Starfield will be in the middle of the show. That's interesting. He said Starfield will be in the middle of the show. We are going to have a segment towards the end of the show on the direction you want the show going to be on, but it's going to be interesting if they make that choice. Then we got a $5 super chat from D Skills Town. Will there be a surprise Game Pass announcement available during the show? Maybe Elden Ring. We're going to have a thing about that too, on what kind of Game Pass games you have. We got like 3 segments left, guys. So then we got a $5 super chat from BitCloud Gaming. Salute to my brothers. I appreciate the support, guys. All right, so first off, I put in the chat. I said, is Fable gameplay going to be in the event? Yes, no gameplay, just CGI. It looks like 39% saying yes, 39% saying no, and 22% saying no gameplay, just CGI. I would be very surprised if that's in there. Like, I would be very, very surprised if that's in there. And that's just my personal opinion on the matter. All right, so let's go to Dirt Griggity.
Yes,
Dirt.
sir. Yes, sir.
What is the basic stuff you expect to see in this? And like I said, how much of you think we're going to see a Starfield, Avowed, Hellblade, just their games in general?
Yeah, obviously, Starfield will be that showpiece. I think they're going to have like a 10-minute trailer of gameplay, not like gameplay how it used to be at E3 where someone is standing on stage with a controller. No, they're going to have a slice already prepared with how we're doing the voiceover, right? Yeah, so you see this, so and so and so, you go to space and this is the planet, stuff like that. I do expect, like Forte said, Hellblade to be there with some more gameplay. But I'm going to tell you guys a game that I think they're going to have there. With some, like a small little gameplay. I believe Perfect Dark will be there.
You believe Perfect?
Hold on, let me explain.
I thought Forte was reaching.
Now, let me explain. Let me explain.
Okay, continue.
Let me explain.
This is Mr. Fantastic reaching, by the way.
Yes, it's definitely reaching.
You Reed Richards out here.
I believe they're going to have a small piece of gameplay. Now, remember E3, and not E3, I'm sorry, the Video Game Awards 2020 when they first announced it. Yes, I am reaching, but I believe it's possible that they could have some gameplay for Perfect Dark. I'm not saying there's going to be a lot of gameplay. Now, I'm assuming the game is probably still a couple years away, just like maybe Fable is probably a couple years away. But I think they're going to have a little gameplay of Perfect Dark.
That'd be lit. I think that would be very good.
I think they have a standard though, right?
What's the name of that? What's the name of that game that What's the name of that game that Rare is making that no one knows what the heck?
Everwild.
Yeah, you got a better chance of seeing that.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But like Microsoft has like a standard, right? They don't show gameplay until a year before release, right? So I don't know if that's gonna happen.
That's been recently, but sometimes they do break that.
Yeah. Somebody said Reed Richards.
I said Reed Richards.
So if they show something, I want if they show Perfect Dark, Addict, please invite me back on, and I want an apology.
Oh, you will get an apology.
I will make a literal dedicated Twitter video and apologize to you on there.
Hey, you sound like you're really like 100% positive about this.
No, I'm just saying.
It'd be an interesting choice if they do it.
If they did, man, I'll be like, God, they gotta make this dang video. I do like somebody in the chat that did say State of Decay 3.
Yeah, we're about
I hope
super chat actually. So we got a $5 super chat from Drawn TJ. I want to see State of Decay 3. I'd love to see it too. But I think the odds.
You ready for the disappointment?
We might see Perfect Dark before State of Decay 3. I'm gonna be real.
Oh man,
I think if you ready to see, if you want to see State of Decay 3, you gonna be disappointed because it ain't gonna look nothing like they.
No, you know what would be crazy?
Yeah, man,
if they show Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3.
Man, wake Addict up next year.
Yeah,
man, being a
when do we
coma,
think
that all
that's
happened.
gonna come out?
State of Decay 3? 2025. Oh, well, I'll say 2024.
I'll say 2024.
You think that
just like Fable? I'll say 2024 for Fable also.
Yeah,
I think Fable's literally 2024.
We got a $5 super chat from Dead Planet. I really hope it's possible for Xbox to reveal a new game and include gameplay with the reveal. That shouldn't really be too much to ask for. Who does that though? Who reveals a new game with gameplay? Because that would assume the game's going to come out within the next year.
Nintendo.
God of War did it.
Nintendo does that.
Yeah, Nintendo does it too.
Nintendo's weird though.
Yeah.
They're not the standard. They're the exception.
Listen. You see, Metroid. Nintendo is goats out here, man. Lords of the Ninth.
Yeah, but their games don't take 5 years
They
like
don't have to take
PlayStation and
it,
Xbox.
but they sell 45 plus million.
That's a fact, my brother. That is a fact.
I mean, you
That's
might be
all that
right.
matters.
Dead Planet, like he
That
said,
is a fact. Yeah.
they did it with Spider-Man, God of War, and Gears of War 5. I feel like Gears of War 5 came out the year after, didn't it? It was announced at
It
an
came out the
E3.
year after. It was announced
Yeah.
in 2018. It came out 19. Yeah.
Someone said
What's up, Gaming
Banjo.
Beyond the Box?
Yeah, here's my thing. I think that we're going to see gameplay on. Let me snap that. I think we're going to see gameplay on Starfield, Avowed,
Yep.
Forza,
Yep.
and Hellblade.
And
Yep.
Redfall.
And
Yeah,
Redfall.
Redfall.
They better
Redfall's
show some
there.
gameplay in Redfall.
Man, they got to show you. That game was supposed to come out this year.
Why
Yeah,
did they
they-
open with Redfall? Okay, we'll get to that here in a second. Okay, so Starfield, I think we'll see 5 to 8 minutes.
Mhm.
I think we'll see. I think Starfield and Avowed are the ones that's going to get the biggest portion of gameplay. Now, there is a curveball that Avowed doesn't come out at the first 3 or 4 months of next year, so we might see Avowed gameplay next year, and that might be what they really push next year. But
Yeah.
for some reason, I got a feeling that game's coming out like the first 3 or 4 months of next year. I don't know. We'll have to see because Starfield, I think it's coming out 6 months after Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll have to see exactly how that works. I think we're going to see Compulsion's game.
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
think there might be a
that'd be
chance Compulsion ends with their game.
Mm.
I
Could
think
be. It could
there's
be.
a chance with that.
That's a
We'll have
solid
to-
chance.
Yeah,
That
And
is
what
new.
would be
That's a
interesting,
brand new IP. Yeah, you're right about that. That's a
just
good
like
chance.
Dead Planet said, it'd be interesting if they announced Compulsion's game and it comes out next year.
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to have a very weird show than we're normally used to.
I have a feeling that the second most gameplay will be Forza. It's just my guess because I think they're going to want to show off the Xbox and what it can do.
Yeah.
I think that might end up being the thing. And racing games just do that well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so now let's move on to Game Pass. We all know Game Pass is going to be here in some way. It's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna
There's
be
no
huge.
way it's not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
going to
sure
go
it'll be
through the
Game Pass.
panel, and you tell me 3 games that we'll say a game that you feel is going to be announced as a game day and date, a game that you think they need to make as a day, not even
Ooh.
day and date game, just a game coming out that's coming to Game Pass. Doesn't have to be day and date. And a game. So tell me a game that you feel is going to be in Game Pass, and tell me a game that you personally feel Microsoft needs in Game Pass. For regardless if it's for any type of reason, it could be any type of reason that you feel they need that in Game Pass. We'll start with Hargeet. Hargeet,
All right.
tell me, enlighten me.
So could we also ask this question? How many of the games they announce during that showcase will not be in Game Pass? 'Cause that's
Only
all
about
it-
1 or 2.
Yeah, right?
You literally
Right.
wanted to.
Yeah, we can all say 1 or 2. I don't think
So,
we can disagree.
I already told you one that I think they should put in Game Pass, and that was Gotham Knights, right?
Mhm.
What would be fantastic, right, from a Xbox perspective, not from a like me personally perspective, is bring those Japanese games in that everybody wants that aren't in there. If you say Persona is coming in, it's coming to Xbox, and day and date it's in Game Pass. Boom, that'll be an interesting little mic drop moment, right? That kind of thing. So something like that, or FF7 remake that has not been coming to Xbox. Okay, suddenly we got it. Boom, there it is in Game Pass.
Man, I could just see Hargeet right now. They say he just drops pin. All right, so Dirt Man, tell me a game that you want to see in Game Pass and a game that you feel like Microsoft should have in Game Pass for any reason.
Even though we don't know much about this game, it might not even come out until 2023. But I feel that game, what is the Callisto Protocol? I believe that's a game that should be in Game Pass. It's they said it's like a Dead Space type of game. Like I say, we don't know much about it. We haven't seen any gameplay, but the game should be dropping pretty soon. That's a game I would love to see in Xbox Game Pass because it's going to be a big third party game. I don't know how it's going to sell, but kind of like Back 4 Blood. even though I don't really care for the game, I thought it was a pretty good announcement that that game was dropping in Game Pass day one. So this is another game I feel that would, be pretty dope to be in Game Pass. Now, I'm sorry.
I was gonna capitalize on that. So I get what you're saying on that. I don't know. Me personally, I kind of want them to limit like future games. You know what to say? Like I kind of want games like within 6 months. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
continue. I got you. Well, the game is supposed to drop this year, but probably not. But that's just the first game I could think of because it really caught my interest. When they showed it off last year or whenever it was. They have some great games already dropping in Game Pass this year, like Game of Beyond the Box Set, Atomic Heart. They have Plague's Tale, Requiem dropping. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what other game. But I love them, like besides Gotham Knights, I can't really think of any off the top of my head besides the Callisto Protocol. Now a game they need will probably be Gotham Knights.
Ooh, Gotham Knights.
They would need.
I
don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
That's going to just further the conversation. Game Pass is where your games go to die.
Wait a minute. I mean, the game doesn't look that bad, does it?
That looks
Dude.
good to me.
Did you watch it?
It looks okay.
I'd rather take
you had
this
glasses
for
on when you watched that.
I'd rather
thing.
take this for. I'd rather take this for Breeze right here and just spray my eyeballs with it over and
look that bad
before I do that.
Look,
I think what it is when that comes to that type of like a comic book hero kind of game, I want to see a traditional thing. And to me, that feels like we're just trying to make a game and throw two people on a map and just let them have fun on it doesn't seem like there's substance there. Now I could be wrong. We don't see it. Now, when I see something like the Justice League game, same thing, but they have done a good job showing that game, showing the reverse Evil Flash or the Evil Flash in general, and showing that there's going to be some substance to that story in general. But when I see Gotham Knights, it doesn't hit right, like at all. All right,
but that was specifically to show you just those two characters, right? Because they've already had a trailer before, right?
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. I liked it.
I think it looks okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it looks incredible. I think it looks fine. It doesn't. Yes, it looks kind of like last gen, kind of, but hey, I think it looks fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
We got 385 people in here, man. Hit that like button if you guys don't mind. Let's get that over 200 likes before the end of the show. Forte,
yo,
tell me a game that you feel is going to be there and it's going to be announced. Most likely a third party, and then tell me a game that you feel Microsoft needs to pursue and it needs to be there.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Outriders World Slayer needs to be in there. It needs to be.
It's already in there.
Is it? Did they put no World Slayer? You got to pay for.
But I could have swore I saw the little thing change, and it says it did.
I think you have to pay for that.
Oh, okay,
I might be wrong, but you shouldn't have to pay for
Microsoft.
it.
Don't listen to this dude. Don't get that game.
No, that needs to be in there because they need to do amends for all the problems we had with it.
I agree.
I think Saints Row needs to be in there.
Saints
Row. I forgot about that.
I think Saints Row in August. Saints Row should be in there. Comes out in August 23rd. Get you ready for the holiday season. Get you ready for get you lead up towards Starfield and all the other games coming out. Well, because I think Forza is going to come out in September. So I think that's going to lead you right into it. So that'll be like your really big summer game. So Saints Row, I definitely think should be in there. Who remembers Test Drive that was available on where Xbox Live blew up and stuff when it came to racing and stuff?
I remember Test Drive.
Test Drive, they got the new Test Drive coming out. Test Drive Solar Crown, that's coming out this I think this October or September is coming out. I think that should be in there. And then I also think I'm with you guys. Gotham Knights, I think that should definitely be a game that should be in there or they should go after. But let's be for real. I don't care if they don't own Activision yet. I don't care about none of that stuff.
I'm gonna say some of those.
They should go ahead. Modern Warfare 2 It's literally coming out this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you should put that
He
game
stole
in
it,
Game
man.
Pass.
He stole my one, man.
That's
Why
the
not
one that
give you
should
the
be-
whole panel, and the last dude steals it. I mean,
That's
look,
it. Modern Warfare 2
That would be
is
big, though.
is the
That'd be
game that
You think?
absolutely should be in Game Pass.
Do you think the
so-
current? Go
I
ahead,
would
sorry.
love it.
No, go ahead and finish. Hargeet.
Yeah. So, do you think the current agreement they have? It was done years ago with Sony, right? So, do we think that it?
I don't
did
think it
not,
has nothing to do with Game
And-
Pass, though.
Yeah. So, if it doesn't say you can't be on Game, you're right. Right? They could they could work that deal with Activision and say.
And are they really giving money to
I want-
Activision at that point? They're
I
just
think
giving
they
money
have
to
to.
themselves.
No,
later
no, I
on.
think-
Hold up,
they
let
have
me
to.
let,
I think
let me
they have
address
to.
something. Blaze
I
is
think
in the
they have
chat. No
Yeah.
one be disrespectful to Blaze. He's just in here
Oh, we
chatting
love
it up.
Blaze. Blaze is God.
No, people will say PlayStation trash, my dude. Look, you can keep the stuff
Oh,
like
got
that.
you.
I don't mind the little back and forth because Blaze lives for that. But let's not. I don't want it to elevate anything higher than that. Let's be respectful, man. Let's be respectful. All right, so here man.
I'm sorry, I stole
Forte,
yours, man.
we got through Hargeet, and I was like, yes. Got through Dirt, and I was like, it's over. Then you gonna steal my stuff, man.
And I
So-
gave you a bonus one with Saints Row.
That's a
Well-
good one. I like that Saints Row one, though. I really like that one. I kind of forgot about
just-
But
that.
anybody that thinks they shouldn't get Call of Duty in there this holiday is tricking themselves.
Ooh, that will be fire, bro.
Man.
I don't know if it's possible.
Listen, I am not the biggest Call of Duty fan no more. But my favorite one was Modern Warfare 2. And I ain't gonna lie, when I saw that emblem, when they showed it last week, I was like, oh, I'm definitely there day one.
Hey, your Forte, but the one in 2019, the Modern Warfare, that was amazing. That was
No,
one
it
of the
was.
best-
It was really
best
good.
Call of
It
Duty
ain't-
campaigns
It
they
ain't
ever
Modern
made.
Warfare 2, though. It ain't
So-
Modern Warfare 2, though.
Yeah.
Here's how I feel like they're gonna go. I feel like okay. I don't know why.
You
but
got to
part of
rethink
me-
it all now.
Yeah, no, I'm still saying the Call of Duty because I don't care what you say. I feel like
That's the bottom line.
Call of Duty was going to be there. And the reason I feel like that is because I feel that is a good way of showing we don't own them, but we own them. So,
Right.
I don't know if they can do that. Now, I do remember, if you guys recall, when they bought Bethesda, they put Doom in there the next week.
Immediately. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And what's funny is there were some games that left that went right back in,
Yeah.
like Dishonored. So
I think Fallout 4 also had left and went right back in, I believe.
So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting if they can pull some strings and get that taken care of. The game I feel like they need that Persona Game Pass coming in their day and date announcement. To be honest with you, even if they can't get that in their in Game Pass, they need that game at the show in some form or fashion.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like Persona is one of the few games that shows the different libraries of PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get that, not only are they showing that they're trying to support the Japanese market, but they're showing we are working and we're getting some of the games that doesn't normally come to our platform. And if they came up there and they did an entire montage to stuff that's not on our platform, they showed Final Fantasy VII up there, some of the older Dragon Quests up there, Trials of Still up there. They show Persona and they said, "Oh, this is coming Game Pass day and date." I might have a heart attack. I might not be on the next episode, but I just feel like I need something, even if it's not in Game Pass. I need something at this event as a Japanese centered thing. All right, so let's. We've got like 2 topics left. The next thing I want to talk, and I know I get made fun of for this a lot. I personally feel like what a platform holder opens and closes with is important. That's my personal opinion, because I feel like if you're opening with something that you look at it like, why are you going to realistically think the rest of the show's going to be good at that point? So all right, so I want to ask you all, what is a game that you think they're going to open it, a game you think they're going to close it, and what is a game you think is going to be in the middle that maybe you didn't expect? Let's start with Forte. What is a game you think is going to open it, close it, and a game in the middle?
Open the show. I do think, and I don't want to steal it from you, but I was thinking this. I think Redfall is going to start the show, because I think that's the one thing that everybody's like, where the heck is this game coming? You ain't even talked about it. I do think that's going to be the opener. The Starfield thing in the middle is really interesting. I don't know.
Let's go around for open, and then we'll go to the middle.
Okay, so I think for opening, I do think Redfall will open the show because I think they ended the show. They should start a show, and especially with that game. That game is literally supposed to come out around that time, like around the summertime. So I think that's the game that they're going to start the show with, just to let people like, oh yeah, remember that game? Here it is.
All right, so Hargeet, man, Redfall. That's what Forte put his stacks on. I'm gonna write these down. We gonna revisit this. Who was right? Who was wrong? So Hargeet, what are they opening Microsoft with? What are we seeing exclusive on that screen? Maybe not exclusive. Maybe they open with Call of Duty saying it's in Game Pass staying day. I don't know.
I mean, so like the dream scenario would be ABK finalized. Own it, bitches. they just
do the Activision Bethesda roundtable on the stage right there.
Totally not going to happen.
Microsoft come on the stage because they bought everything.
Yeah, right. Oh, we bought Sega. We bought Valve. We bought.
Imagine if they did. Okay, hold up. Imagine they do another Phil Spencer when he went up there and he announced Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Undead Labs, but it's all publishers.
Oh man.
But like, Ubisoft. He just walks up there. We really like the Sonic franchise. We really like the Persona franchise. So we bought them. He's like, we had a huge relationship with Assassin's Creed when it launched on the Xbox Series X. So we bought them.
Now that would be crazy. No, but I think it's going to start with Starfield. What did they start with last time? Wasn't it Starfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, they start with Starfield.
I think they're going to start with Starfield because I think that's the thing they want to like. The image of the show, right? The logo, it's Starfield, right? So that's going to be the thing that starts it. To me, I think that's where it's going to go.
All right, Dirt. What are they starting this with, man?
I actually think they're going to start off with a new IP, Compulsion's new game. They're going to start off with that.
That's realistic. And you know what's crazy? I love the state. Let's take a second. I love the state Xbox is in. But we all didn't say the same damn thing. Hats off to Microsoft.
Congratulations, Xbox. Listen, hey, hold on. Let me tell you, Addict, Forte, they beat our legs they beat my legs last generation. Xbox.
The ponies were galloping on our legs.
PlayStation guys beat my legs last generation. Xbox didn't give us no ammo. So it's good to see they have something for us to talk about.
Oh,
nice.
So I do want to
black ass legs. They beat them.
Do want to read this super chat? We got a $2 super chat from Antoine Williams.
Yeah,
I think they will start the stream sick.
No way, man. No, they better not do that, bro.
All right, so
he's saying he wants to show it, right? Not start with it. I hope not. I don't even want to show
with it. No, don't start.
All right, so let's
show it.
Let's do a middle one, man.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's do a middle one. We're going to do it in the reverse order. So, Dirt, what do you think is going to be in the middle of the show that, and what's funny is there's so many games that could be here that anything could be in the middle.
Yeah. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't know who said it earlier, but I think Starfield might be in the middle. Just like, because last year, I don't know if you guys remember, Halo Infinite was in the middle. So I believe Starfield could possibly be in the middle.
That's going to be interesting.
Yep.
All right, so Hargeet, man, tell me, man, what? I hope they don't use Starfield as the middle sandwich, man. I really hope they don't do that. But if they do, they do that. What do you think is going to be in the middle, Hargeet?
I think it's Redfall that's going to be in the middle because I think they're going to do near the end this like reveal for Motorsport. I shouldn't say, but that's going to be my thing at the end, right near the end of the show. Of course, I want something new, but whatever.
Okay, Forte, tell me, man, what do you think?
Middle of the show, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Middle of the show, I think it's going to be Forza.
Forza,
I think Forza 8 is going to be Forza Motorsport 8 is going to be the middle of the show.
That would be interesting. All right, so I didn't do my beginning, did I?
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, I keep getting so focused on you guys, I completely forgot. I think they're going to open with the. I think they're going to open with the battle, the Halo Battle Royale. They're going to open with that.
Ooh,
yeah, I think they're going to open with the Halo Battle Royale, and I think the middle will be Starfield.
I think Starfield's going to be closer to. I think
it'll be the end. Like, see, there's an end, but then there's an end.
I think it's the closest to the end. I think it's going to be like how Forza, because you got to think, because Forza was the thing that was the almost the end, but then they did Redfall. I think Starfield's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the thing, right? It's going to be the last game they show right before that.
Yeah,
one
well,
more
see,
thing.
we do. Now, I want to keep in mind more. I was about to say, we'll go ahead and go into it. Now we're going to go into the end ones, and I want to. There's a little chariot here. Like, this doesn't mean it's the end of the show. It just means it's going
Towards
to
the
be
end.
towards the end. Because I do believe that the Fables, the Redfalls, those are mic drop moments. Those are the ones that they think is going to be a mic drop. So that's going to be the next one. But what do you think is the game that's going to end the show? We'll start with Dirt. Let's start with Dirt.
Crickety.
I believe whatever the coalition is working on, whether it's Gears, we're hearing they might be working on a little smaller IP, a new IP or whatever. I think whatever the coalition is working on will end the show.
Okay, Hargeet. Well, what do you think will end it before they do the mic drop moment?
Before they do the mic drop moment.
Yes.
Forza. That's going to be Forza.
Forza. That's I would feel that's a safe thing. I feel like they could easily do that. What do you think, Forte? What are they going to end this with?
I think Avowed.
Actually, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Avowed. All right, mic drop moments. We all love mic drop moments, man. We all love them. And keep in mind, this could be the end, the middle, the beginning. I do feel like the majority of the time they use this for the end, but sometimes with like the Xbox backwards compatibility, that was the mic drop moment that year. Right. So I'm going to go through. You guys tell me what your biggest mic drop moment is that you would think, and the one that you think's realistic, because we know there's two. There's two different types of mic drop moments.
There's two different mic
drop
moments.
Hargeet, tell me what is a realistic mic drop moment, and what is one that would be towards you to you?
Well, so we hear some potential out of Bethesda for a Star Wars multiplayer type game, right? That could be an interesting mic drop moment, right? To announce, hey, we got a Star Wars exclusive. Right,
exclusive, Game Pass exclusive,
right? And I think the unrealistic one is, they do something with a superhero and bring out one of those as a Spider-Man type game.
And it's sad that we're saying that's unrealistic, but anyway, Forte, tell me what is a realistic one, and a realistic mic drop moment, and not even an unrealistic one, but one that you feel that would be towards you, like something that I wouldn't care about, but you would care about because it gives every box that you want.
Ooh, I think we already said what my mic drop moment is going to be. I think Modern Warfare 2 being in Game Pass is going to be the mic drop moment. I think that's going to just destroy the freaking show.
That would be incredible, bro.
I'm to tell you that. I think that's just going to destroy the show. For me personally, if they, I'm a huge Blizzard fan. I just want Blizzard to be Blizzard again. I would love to see, for me, that mic drop moment would be Diablo 4. Actually seeing it. I mean, we saw gameplay of it already, but Diablo 4 being at the show with a release date, when it's actually coming out, that would be my personal mic drop moment.
That's interesting. All right, so Derek Greggity, man, tell me what yours is, because they being a little unrealistic here. I'm joking with you guys. What is yours? I want this here because I'm selfish kind of movement. And what is yours? Okay, it's a safe move. They're gonna do it. We all know they're gonna do it. Mic drop moment.
I gotta be honest, man. Both of mine are unrealistic to me, but hold on, I'm trying to think. Okay, I would say the mic drop moment would be they go on stage and Kojima comes out, right? That rumored Kojima game.
Oh yeah, that would be one.
Is announced, right? That's a mic drop moment for me. And like you said, a mic drop moment. And what's the second thing you said?
And just something that you feel it would be a mic drop moment, but it's not necessarily safe, but Microsoft's doing it and it's going to wow you, but it's not something that you would not have expected, like something that you kind of would have expected.
Yeah, that's like both of them to me is the Kojima thing. Like, I'm not a huge Kojima guy, but I got to be honest with you, Addict. I got to be honest with you, Forte. Hargeet. I'm sorry, is it Hargeet? Hargeet.
Hargeet.
Hargeet. Sorry,
Hargeet, yeah.
Hargeet. I got to be honest with you guys. Them announcing Kojima game will be great. Not
that's just the FU to Sony. That's what
you know what? Like Forte, I didn't want to say it. I want to tell you guys, it is ammunition for me because I have a folder in my phone, my gallery of screenshots of PlayStation fanboys saying Kojima would never work with Xbox. You Xbots are delusional to think that he will work with Xbox on an exclusive game. So I'm just being honest with you, Addict. Yes, I would love to see that.
Someone in the chat, let me bring them up real quick, said the panel totally forgot the part where Phil Spencer comes out and gives a speech. Usually the mic drop moment is a relation of the speech. So,
it's related to the speech. He'll be like, it is one more thing.
Yeah, so okay, let me get these super chats real quick and then I'll go through mine.
You know what I just thought about? That Cowabunga collection for the Ninja Turtles games. That should be in Game Pass.
Oh, that would be nice. What
I was thinking about, I was like, what else could I say? That is a realistic game that should be in Game Pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got a $2 super from Carlos. They will show Halo BR from Certain Affinity. I do think that a good chance that will be there.
It is a good chance.
We got a $5 super chat from -0. I think Redfall is going to relegate to Summer Game Fest. I based the prediction off of an advertisement Cicero for Summer Game Show. I actually do think you'll see the Sea Thieves, the Redfall. I think that might be at the Game Fest. I think there's a good chance you might not even see Redfall at the event because they're going to give it to Jeff. And as much as I disagree with that, I understand. And then definitely put that icon in the chat, man. Welcome Flush Jackson to the realm. Put those icons in there. Give him that good welcoming. Man. All right. So here's what. Okay, look, I know we're going to disagree with this. I think my moment that I feel would be a mic drop moment is if he comes up there and says they bought either Square Enix or Sega. That would be my mic drop moment because I feel like in a swoop they have secured the right to say that they are taking Japanese support seriously, and I feel like until you buy at least a studio, make a studio, or go above and beyond to get some of these games into Game Pass, or just get these games to come to Game Pass in general, you're not going to fully get Saul like you're taking it serious. So I feel like that's going to be, and as far as a mic drop moment, I think Indiana Jones. I think that would actually surprise people at the end if they saw an Indiana Jones.
It would.
Or, Fable. Fable would be a mic drop moment. If you saw in-depth good gameplay, Fable would be a good moment. But what I want to really point out, and let me get this. We got a $2 super chat from Dead Planet. Mic drop, Xbox swipe, Silent Hill, and Metal Gear Solid. That's actually interesting. I think some people on Twitter would have a meltdown if that happened. But Xbox has really never been in this kind of situation before. We went through a lot of different scenarios, and what I liked about it, past years we all said the same thing. Oh, they're gonna open with Forza, they're gonna end with Gears, they're gonna open with Forza, they're gonna end with Halo. Very few of us had the same damn opening. I don't know if it's because you don't want to copy me. I know people don't want to copy about you. So, maybe you didn't want to copy each other, but we all had different things and they were feasible and realistic. So it shows that the brand's doing better. It's just, do you want to wait for some of these games? No. I actually agree Banjo-Kazooie would be a mic drop moment to me, but I'm starting to get to the point where I'm not a believer anymore. Just not. I think Killer Instinct might be out there. Just because we didn't say some of these doesn't mean that they're not going to be there. It's just I don't think there's any huge fighter fans on this panel, is there?
I mean,
no.
So I mean, why would I care about something I ain't going to play? Now I know K Mega, that's his bag. I'm sure he wants
that's his bag,
but I don't care. So I would be happy for K Mega to get his bag, but damn it, I want my bag too. What's going on? I want my Fable. Regardless, we probably ain't gonna see Fable. It's just nice to see the brand in such a good lighting. So let's do our last thoughts on your overall expectations on the show and where you think this could elevate and how important you think this show is. We're going to start with Hargeet. How important do you think this show is that we're getting into, and what could happen if they do a really good job showing it? And I feel like, do you think they're going to highlight on gameplay?
Are they going to highlight gameplay of the games that they've announced?
Mhm.
If they're bringing stuff in, then I would say yes, they're going to do that. So as far as like what they need to do here is establish the roadmap, right? So they've got a lot of momentum. There's issues with Sony and production levels, so that's diminishing their sales for PS5. Microsoft for the beginning of the year has been outselling them, right? They could keep that going, but they need to give people a reason to stay with this platform.
Mhm.
And that's what they need to do here. Set that roadmap for the next 2 to 3 years. Here's the stuff you're going to be playing. All of it's coming to Game Pass. You're going to want to be on this subscription over Spartacus. Come to our side, right? That is what they need to do with this show. That I think is the overall theme.
Dirt. What do you think, man?
I agree with what he just said. This show is extremely important. Like he just mentioned, PlayStation, they're having issues with stock shortages and things like that. And it looks like it might continue a little while longer. And Xbox needs to take advantage of that. Show the content. They showed a lot of trailers before in 2020 and 2021. Now it's time to show some gameplay for these games. And it's extremely important, man, because content is king. And we all know how, Xbox, they had years where they just really didn't have anything. Those days are gone, and the future is very bright. So they have to show some, like we mentioned earlier, Addict, some release years or just some windows of when some of these big games are dropping. And also, I know people hate Xbox Game Pass. I know people tired of us talking about Xbox Game Pass, how great of a service it is, but that's what it is. It's a great service. And word of mouth about Xbox Game Pass needs to continue. And if this show shows off everything that we're thinking they're going to show off, including gameplay, including, third-party games dropping the Xbox Game Pass day one, I believe they need to yell from the rooftops. Xbox Game Pass is the place you need to be because we have these quality games and this service for $15 to $10 a month. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a very important show, though.
Okay, so Forte, man, what do you think? Do you think it's just an average show that even if they bomb this, they'll still be fine? Because people keep forgetting that, like, we talk about stuff. The gaming industry news is so fast. You could drop the ball and be fine in a week, but sometimes it lasts a little longer. Yes,
right. It lasts a generation with the Xbox One. It's like it lasted a whole generation, right?
So how do you feel, Forte? Do you feel like this is an important event for E3? Do you think it's just one of those things where it's just a stepping stone? How do you feel?
I think it's important for me, and I think it's important for people on this panel because we're the ones that's been on the ground floor for almost, it feels like a decade at this point.
It does feel like that.
So it really just comes down to you support the platform for different reasons. It's like I'm tired of telling people the reason I play on Xbox is just because of my friends, because that's really the reason why at this point, because the games really haven't been there. It's the ecosystem. It's where all my community is, where my friends are. So that's the reason I play on Xbox. I'm tired of that being the reason. I wanted to be more substantive to that. I wanted to be because they showed us great experiences. I want to feel like the system I bought isn't just a vehicle to play with just certain people. That's what I kind of want Xbox to change the narrative on. We always known that it's about, the ecosystem is about friends, is about community. But we always skip over the one thing that the system's the most important thing about, which is the games. So this year for them is very important for me. Is it a make or break for them? No. The reason it's not a make or break for them is because Game Pass is so incredible. It's going to be that thing that's going to supersede what anybody thinks about the show in general. Because once the games start hitting that service, who cares about what they show? As long as the games are good, that's all that really truly matters. But I just want to get past the wait for E3 because we're at another one right now.
Wait for E3.
Wait for E3. I want to get past that. So for me personally, I just want to see Xbox take the next step in order to feel like they got that proverbial monkey off their back. Like, yo, we can finally breathe easy. People know what the plan is. People know what the content delivery is going to look like.
Mhm.
And I think they took a small step in that direction last year at E3, but then they dropped the ball with all the Halo stuff at the end of the year. So they kind of had to reset again. Now it's time to reprove yourself. And that's why I think Starfield is the most important thing they have there, because that's pretty much their Halo moment from last year.
Mhm.
They can't let Starfield take away all the great momentum that they had built up throughout the second half of this year going into this event, culminating with the game coming out at the end of the year. If they can hit all those notes right, they can show people the games and the experiences they want to see at E3 this year or at the Bethesda software, Microsoft collaboration part 2 before Activision shows up thing. I think they'll be perfectly fine. And I think they're going to do that. But for me, I just want to see them address the one elephant in the room, which is games. And nothing but games. That's it.
I agree with you. I think this is an important showcase for them because it represents we're buying these companies. Well, we're investing heavily in the Game Pass, and it represents, but we haven't lost the focus of gaming.
Yes.
It's not just about buying studios and taunting that, we could put these on Game Pass. It's not about just making sure Call of Duty could be on Game Pass day and date, Overwatch being on Game Pass day and date. It's about elevating the industry in general, making gaming better overall for everyone, and about we're investing into these studios to make better games than not just make games for us. And I feel like you're going to see that with Starfield. Sure, I don't think Starfield's going to be the prime example of what Bethesda can do for Microsoft under Microsoft's brand, because a lot of Starfield was already done, but it does show that Bethesda hasn't hit 100% the past couple of years, especially with like Fallout 76, and it shows that they can get back on track. And then you'll see Redfall, regardless if you like that type of gameplay or not. I have a feeling it's going to be a good game. It's just some people aren't going to like it. And I do feel like this shows we are still in this to win, and we're still in this to deliver quality games to you, and we could do both. And I feel like that is what this is really about. I feel like we're going to see Game Pass stuff on here. I feel like we're going to see gameplay. I don't think we're going to see a lot of CGI.
Right.
I think we'll see some, but I think in the past we've seen 25% gameplay, 75% CGI. I think you're going to flip that. I think you're realistically going to flip that. You're going to see a couple games get announced as CGI, but I do think you're going to see avowed gameplay, hopefully, unless, like I said, it's towards the end of next year. Then you might see it as like the Video Game Awards or next year's event in general. And I think you're going to start seeing the gameplay that we've seen. Now, I know that there was rumors that every Microsoft studio has made content for this event. Regardless, that doesn't mean that it's being used at this event. It could be used for Jeff's event. It could be used for the Video Game Awards. It could be used for maybe an XO event in the future. I don't think that means that they're making it just for this event. But I'm excited, and I think everyone in the chat should be excited. I get it. We've waited a long time for this, and I get it. People say we keep waiting for the next event, the next event, the next event. Well, the next event's in a month. Right. And at this point, if we've waited this long, what's another month? So, I appreciate everyone for coming through. I know that this wasn't exactly what I advertised, but guess what? I'm not exactly what I advertise half the time. So I appreciate everyone for chilling. I think we had a fantastic show, broke down the show for the most part. And I think because I'm missing some of the people, your boy might do another one next week with a different set of panel members, because I want Hustle to be part of it. I want Tim Dog to be part of it. And because I couldn't get them on this one, I might do it next week with maybe like Diller Gaming and Cody Eastwood. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not promising that. I'm just saying it might happen. I got to see what's going on. Tim Dog said he wants to come on next week. But we'll see how it goes. But, I appreciate it for coming through, man. It was a great show. Forte, where can the people find you? What's that DPS going for you, man?
Yeah, man. Great show, Addict. As always, man. Shout out to you and the Iron Lords for putting on an amazing show like you always do, no matter what. Shout out to Hustle Can't Be Here, Tim Dog, everybody else. For myself, Gaming Forte, you already know where you can meet me. YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation, all of those places. DPS Podcast is tomorrow night, 9 p.m. on my channel with the homeboy Slim Up Backslap. It's going to be a great time. We are being joined by Erica's for the win, her first time coming over to the show. So make sure you come over and support her, you know, in motherhood and everything, because, you know, it's about to hit the rocks on that one. But yeah, this is a great show. Appreciate it. Make sure you go check out all of these guys, man. They do great content, every last one of them. Shout out to you guys, and you guys have a great week and enjoy the games you're playing.
All right, then, you know, we got Hargeet, Chani. Let me tell you something. I hit this man up 20 minutes before the show started. 20 minutes, and it's nice that you showed up here. You know, you got a YouTube channel, Hargeet. What's going on with that, man? Tell the people to go and get in there, man.
Yeah, so GameOnDaily.com, of course, check that site out. And then we have our Game on Daily Go Live every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So check that out as well.
And don't you got a personal channel?
I do, but I put very little on there. You're welcome to go to my channel. It's just Chani on YouTube.
Yeah, go there.
But most of my new stuff will actually be on Game on Daily's YouTube channel. So
shout out to
check
you,
us out.
We got in that too. And you know, he doesn't have a Twitter. Think he needs to change that.
Nah. Well, see, maybe if Elon buys it, maybe it'll be better. I don't know. I still think it's gonna suck. I think Twitter's horrible.
All right. So then we got the one, the only Dirt Griggity. What do you be doing here lately, Dirt?
They kicked my legs in.
Oh, man, crying about getting my legs kicked in last generation. But you know, besides that, just been, you know, just having fun, man. You know, check out my podcast on Monday evenings at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, called WBG Xbox Podcast. Yes, we talk a lot of trash. I must admit, we have a lot of fun though. You know, so stop by, check it out. You know, we do the podcast. I also do my little videos where I'm crying about last generation and things like that. So just stop on by, man. Let's have a good old time.
And you know, Lord Addict here. Definitely catch us on the Iron Lords podcast this Sunday at 1 p.m. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people the guest, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Let's go. Let's go.
We might have a certain person on the podcast.
Phil Spencer.
No, it's not going to be an executive.
Aaron Greenberg.
It is a content creator / developer. That's all I'm going to give you. Any types of event
content creator
/ developer. Everyone in this chat knows who he is. Okay,
I know you're talking about.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell the name, but if you can put 2 and 2 together,
yeah,
it is okay. I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything in the chat, man.
We already know who this is.
Yeah,
was he on Gamers Talk Live on the Sunday?
Yes, he was.
Confirmation.
But that has not, you know, that could be a coincidence too, man. That could be a coincidence too. So, you know, if all goes well, hopefully we will have this individual on the podcast.
Sounds like
it's
fun.
looking like it's going to be a solid going through, but sounds like Joe Biden. I'm done with you guys.
Well, it's good. We know it's him because he straight professed all his love during the 5 question segment, saying
I didn't confirm or deny anything. I just gave you guys a hint, and if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. But I appreciate it for coming through. Definitely catch the Iron Lords podcast at 1 p.m. this Sunday. Like I said, hopefully we'll have this individual on the podcast.
Man, that's going to be interesting. He swears up a storm.
I'm not confirming or denying he's on it. Okay, so and then I did review Ident Chronicle Rising. It's on the channel you're currently watching this on. It's on Game Pass too. So you know if you think it's worth your time to go watch to see if the game itself is worth downloading, definitely go there and check that out. I am currently reviewing another game. It isn't in Game Pass, but you will see that probably here in the next week and a half. And I appreciate you for coming through. And until next time, this is Gaming Addicts, and that's another Addict Show. Peace.
We gone.
Peace out.
Deuces.